SoFi investors, what is going on? Earnings is coming up Tuesday before the bell. We had a great day for SoFi. It touched $11.30 earlier in the trading day. It's pretty remarkable. In the last month, SoFi is up close to 40%, man. We are dominating right now. I actually, when there was that big dip in the stock yesterday, I added 400 more shares. So that brings me right around like 4,700 shares of SoFi. I'm really excited about this earnings report. I did put out a video a couple days ago saying I think that we could see a sell-off of the stock coming up, right? We've had a huge run-up in the earnings, right? And pretty much every time we've seen this huge run-up into earnings, guys, we've seen a sell-off in the next few weeks after the earnings report, no matter how good the earnings is. So we have to be a little bit careful about what we're doing with our shares. I think in the long term, it's not really going to matter, right? And I do expect Anthony Noto and the team to increase guidance, right? I think with that $2 billion of capital they have access to issue more loans is a huge big deal. And before, Wall Street was already expecting 4 cents of EPS, which is 2 times the greatest quarter we've ever had, right? So expectations are high. And as we lower interest rates consistently over the next 2 years probably, I'm expecting only a 0.25% decrease the next time the Fed meets. They don't want to decrease them too fast because they learned that, when you increase them too fast, problems arise. And that goes for them lowering them too quickly as well, right? So I would expect a 0.25% decrease in the federal funds rate. But we'll have to see how that all plays out. But I think there's a lot of tailwinds coming for SoFi stock over the next, 12 to 24 months, right? So where do I think SoFi can go after earnings? I think we could touch probably around $13 if the earnings are good and guidance is positive moving forward, right? If we increase guidance over the next 12 months, I really think that we're going to see an increase in the stock price. It might be just temporary, but at some point, Palantir was kind of doing the same thing. They were crushing earnings, and the stock would just keep selling off. But at some point with Palantir, things flipped, and it went from $7 to $40 a share. Could we potentially go that high in the next 12 to 24 months? Probably, right? I definitely think we're there. I think the business is better than it's ever been. And, all-time highs are in that $22 to $23 range, right? So I really think sooner rather than later, we're going to start to see a stabilization of the stock price. Institutional ownership is going to be over 50%. And then it's off to the races for SoFi and its investors, right? My 1-year price target is in that $15 to $17 range. After earnings, I think we could touch 13 and probably retrace into the $10, $11 range again. I don't know if we're going to hold. There's still, the interest rates are still high. We're not going to really see SoFi really, with the refinancing of loans and issuing of new loans, probably not for the next 6 to 12 months, right? In my opinion. So over the next year, guidance is going to continue to get increased. Price targets are going to start to go up from analysts, and that's a huge deal. Institutional ownership, I'm guessing, is going to be over 50% sooner rather than later. And SoFi is also about to hit 10 million members. I don't know if we hit it this quarter, but we're going to be knocking on the doorstep. So that's coming very, very soon. So there's a lot of exciting things to look forward to in the next earnings report. I do, however, think that there is some of these good things baked into the stock price already in the recent run-up. Like I said before, over 40% in the last month and change. So the stock price is really going up, man. We were in the $6 spot not too long ago, right? So Do we head back down there? I don't think so, unless something catastrophic happens with the earnings report. I don't foresee that happening, but I think we could settle back in that, high $9, mid $9, $10 range in the coming weeks after earnings is reported, right? So I'm saying we could potentially hit $13 on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, the day after the earnings report, because we're probably going to see an increase in price in the short term, right? In my opinion, we were up to $11.30 today. It's retraced a little bit back into the $10 range. And I think we could settle back there after a pop at earnings. We could settle in the, high 9s, low 10s. But this earnings report, I'm going to say $13 is a good spot if you want to sell, potentially get back in later. But at some point, it's going to go up after earnings and it's not going to come back down. When's that going to be? I'm not 100% sure. No one is 100% sure. And if they tell you they are, they're completely full of shit. But I do think the company is doing really, really well. And at the end of the day, that's the most important part. At some point, fundamentals are going to match up with the stock price. Institutional investors are going to see the potential in this company to generate revenue and profits, right? This is going to be our fourth quarter in a row generating a profit. They're expecting 4 cents in earnings coming up, right? So last quarter, we were only at 1 cent. So that's a huge jump up. The company is getting more and more profitable. I think 10 million members is going to happen very, very soon. If not this quarter, the next quarter for sure. So I'm really excited about Tuesday. I'll make sure to put out a video on my thoughts on the earnings report shortly after that. If you guys could do me a huge favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I've been really busy with football this season. It's football season, right? So I'm really busy on my other channel, the J All Day Sports channel. So I haven't been putting out a lot of SoFi content and stock market content the last few months. But things are going to change shortly. Football is going to wind down in the next few months, and then we're back to this channel hard, giving you guys 401k information, SoFi information, Palantir, some other stocks I'm looking at. I really like Sirius Radio right now. I think that's a really good play. Warren Buffett's buying that stock huge. And I've also been investing in CleanSpark, which has sold off considerably. But if you're into selling covered calls, I've been making a ton of money doing that. All right, guys, thanks again for tuning into this video and all my other SoFi and investing content. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace. Good luck with earnings.